There was a time in my life where I surrounded myself around people who just like to talk about other people. And I realize in hindsight now that it's not a very good situation. Just talking about people and not good things, right? Not being positive about it, but more about being negative. And at the time, probably gave you a little bit of a connection with the person you were talking to. But really, at the end of the day, if that's all you had to talk about, it becomes tiring. There was nothing that was positive about the interaction in hindsight, of course, thinking about it, that I wasn't my best version when I was around those people, talking about others and how their lives became upside down. And it really wasn't until I actually got divorced a few years ago that I realized that I was a person being talked about. Why and how shameful and embarrassing and oh God, right? And I know that a lot of people struggle with what other people think about them. And at the time, it was just the right choice for me, obviously. It ended up being a fantastic choice for me. But at the time, it was something I struggled with, caring too much about what other people thought, and knowing that there were those people in my life that would talk about me behind my back was probably the hardest part that I had to realize that after my divorce, I had to get rid of them. And after getting rid of them, it felt freeing to the point where I didn't have to be reminded that one day I would hear that this person was talking about me and it didn't matter to me. But I know some of you guys might struggle with that, struggle in the sense that you start thinking about the conversations you have with your friends. Is it more positive? Is it uplifting? Is it about the great things that are going on around you? Or is it about something that happened to somebody else that maybe really at the end of the day doesn't affect you at all? I would encourage you to start thinking about those associations because those associations cannot be positive at all in your life. In fact, they could be a lot more damaging than you think. One of the other things that really got me thinking about this was the fact that I was just on Facebook really to troll around for a very long time before I started to realize how much of a difference I could make in other people's lives. But it was a few years ago where I felt like, yeah, Facebook, I don't really like doing anything on Facebook. What's the point? Everyone just shows off and they just talk about all the great things about themselves. But I'm like, how awful is that to think? To think that it's bad to see people happy, to see people progressing. And I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that back then I was super insecure about myself. I was insecure about my own body, that looking at somebody else show off their body was just awful. When really all they were trying to do was just show that they were making a difference in their own life. I really feel bad because at the same time, I used to look down on people who are on Facebook. I hate to say that, and I'm really coming off honest here, but I did because it was a reflection of how I felt about my own life. Everybody was so happy, and the only things I remember sharing on Facebook were recipes and things that were just shocking around the world, but never really creating my own content like I do right now to maybe make a difference in somebody's life. And I know that a lot of people watch these lives, and some people may be touched by them. Some people might think, oh, there it is, Irene talking again, right? But it doesn't matter. What matters to me is that if I'm able to impact somebody's life positively, then that's all the difference that makes to me. I don't care about the other few that might think I'm crazy or think that what is she doing on camera again. I'm more about if I can help one more person, and then that's great. So really to think about your associations and what you're surrounding yourself with. If you're surrounding yourself with negativity, really think about if that's serving anybody at all. I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your week. I got you all and have an awesome day.